Welcome everyone to a Monday night Raw and Uncut, episode 10, this monumental milestone of 10 episodes. We're celebrating with some more baby jokers. I want to know how you guys are doing this Monday night after Sunday night Super Bowl. Bunch of shit coming out. Game was rigged. Niners players didn't know the rules and overtime. Bunch of shit. Football's done. The rigging season's over. Move on. Let's go on to something else. How you guys doing this evening? How was your weekend? Hope you're doing well. You guys see I'm doing pretty well. I'm just relaxing. Just kind of doing my therapeutical session here. I think I'm gonna kind of freestyle it tonight. It's kind of what I've been doing lately, right? Now, here's the thing. Freestyling. What should we talk about? How about let's talk about energy? Let's talk about energy. Let's talk about masculine and feminine energy. Talk about masculine, feminine, two completely opposite sides of the spectrum, right? As natural born men, we're born with natural born masculinity. It's in our DNA. Women born, natural born femininity. It's just the energy. You got the divine feminine energy, you got divine masculine energy. It's in all of us. One is more dominant than the other. In most men, the masculine energy is always going to be dominant. In most women, the feminine energy is going to be dominant. It's the way it is. It's in our DNA. Now, me being a straight man, I'm proud of it. I personally cannot deal with a female that's got masculine energy. Now, I'm not talking about like, if it's just some women walking around with that energy, it don't bother me. But I'm talking about being in a relationship or being intimate with a female like that can look feminine and everything, but her energy is masculine. Just like there's some men, 6'3", 6'4", 240, 250 pounds, look manly as hell, but has no masculinity other than his looks. He's just so feminine. It's the same thing, right? For me, what I gravitate towards, like what attracts me to a woman, we're too far down our timeline here on this planet for everything to always be about looks. That just because a chick's got, oh, she got a fat ass, or she's got big boobs, or she's pretty, or whatever, people just treat them a certain way. And a lot of times, these really, really beautiful women, a lot of times, I'll say 7 out of 10 times, are the ones with the worst attitudes, worst energy, and the worst mindsets. A lot of them are thinking like a man. I'm just thinking like a man. Now, oh, well, I can't go and fuck as many dudes as I want. I can't go do this. I can't go. No, nobody said you couldn't do anything. You could do whatever you want. But then when you go down the road and you're doing all that stuff that you're doing with your masculine energy, what you do is you push away masculine energy. You're repelling it. Then you get, all in your teens and 20s, you're doing all this masculine, pushing your weight around, your energy weight around, your energetic wave around. And what you're doing is you're pushing away strong men. You're repelling strong men, strong heterosexual men, strong straight men. You are repelling good men. You are repelling responsible men. You are repelling men that like women to be feminine. It don't even matter what you look like now, because there's some of these doctors that are taking some of these men and they're making these women, these men look pretty close to natural women. They're getting real close. It's scary sometimes. I mean, I could tell the difference no matter what. But clearly there are men out here that think they're straight, right? And they're not seeing the difference. And they're jumping into shit based on, oh, she's got a big booty, like big boobs. They don't look at nothing else, right? Now, a woman that, a woman that is not gonna uh carry feminine energy, she's not gonna attract a strong masculine man. With that, I'm gonna pause this video real quick because I gotta do something technically, and I'll be right back. You know, my bad on that, but I just had a technical issue that I had to fix real quick. But back to what I was saying is masculine energy and feminine energy. You're seeing a lot of couples these days that are like, men and women couples, women and men couples, traditional, right? We'll just call it traditional couples. But the women are the ones that are assertive, that carry the masculine energy in that relationship. And it causes a lot of issues within themselves, within the women that are carrying this masculine energy, because they think that they're carrying what's natural to them. They just think it's a natural energy, and it's not. It is a fabricated, it's a mimicked energy. It's what they think men are, and what they think, how they think men go about their everyday lives, and how they think that men conduct themselves in their everyday lives. Now, I'm saying men. I'm not talking about pieces of shit. I'm not talking about fuck boys. I said men. And a lot of them will be out there with that masculine energy jumping from dude to dude, thinking that they're accomplishing something because they took down another body. I caught another body, another body. They don't realize how much they are devaluing themselves, where they're not to be desired. Their energy, it doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter about the shape of your body or how pretty your face is or even how much money you got. It's about the energy that you're carrying. And folks, nowadays, you got to protect yourself. Energy is everything. You know what I'm saying? The galaxy's starving for energy. It's everywhere around it. And being a ball of energy, you're going to have attractions and you're going to have things that you repel. A straight man like me, I don't do well with masculine energy. Like other masculine energy, I mean, friends and cousins and stuff like that, and brothers, yeah. I mean, like with a woman that's carrying masculine energy, and she could look like a woman and everything, very has a feminine body and everything, but it's carrying the energy of a man. What happens is they'll spend their 20s kind of in and out of little small flings here and there, threesomes, fucking, all kinds of shit, wild shit. They'll be doing all kinds of crazy shit. And then when they come to their 30s, they think they're ready to settle down. So now they're trying to find a man. They're like, well, maybe I do need a man now. I mean, maybe I do. So I'm going to soften myself up. So they soften their energy a little bit to where it looks a little bit feminine, and then it's matching their image. And they'll snatch up a good dude. But what's going to happen is on its own, because it's just the way it is. It's the man's nature to be masculine. It's not the woman's nature to be masculine. So when I'm trying to have a conversation or I'm coming with a certain type of energy and you're sitting right up over there and you're carrying that energy plus even more, where's the attraction for a real straight man? Because me, as a heterosexual man, I'm attracted to feminine energy, like as in a partner. If I want to be intimate with a female, you know what I mean? There's a different energy that's got to be there. And it can't be this energy of like another man in the room. You know, all these women that say, bruh, yeah, bruh, nah, bruh, for reals, bruh. Like, that's cool, but I can't be, I ain't gonna be walking around with you trying to bring you around my family and shit like that. And you're talking like that. I'm old school. I'm almost 50 years old, bitch. Like, I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna come and respect my masculine energy, I ain't gonna fucking I ain't gonna fuck with your masculine energy. I'm not gonna mesh with it at all. It's just gonna be bam. It's gonna be clashing after a minute. Because after a minute, her energy is gonna go back to what she thinks she is, which is a man. Wants to act like a man, got a kid and everything, but wanna act like a man. Don't look like a man, got hips, got ass, pretty in the face, everything. But crazy as fuck. She's a lunatic. She's a lunatic. That energy's got her thinking, trying to think like a man. So, my tip to women, if you want to catch a responsible man, a nice man, a good man, there's a lot of good men still out there. A lot of fuck boys, yeah, because women, hey man, 9 times out of 10, if you're gonna give it up to a dude and you fit his criteria or there's something you're doing for a dude, he's gonna go after. A lot of dudes don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're fucking anything that fucking moves. That's why when they walk into a house, the fish, stop swimming because these dudes are just getting anything that move. But the quality men that don't function like that and don't work like that, those are the men that these women are trying to find. Now the problem is there's men like that out there. There's good men, but the reason they choose to rather just be alone and not fuck with certain women, it makes women think they're weak or they're lonely or they're by themselves because they have to be, or how long have you been single? Oh, I've been single 4 years. I've been single 7 years, 2 years, whatever you say. People judge you on that these days, especially those type of people with that other masculine energy that doesn't come from a natural man. Us natural straight men, old school men, we like curves. Uh, we don't mind a little bit of extra meat, a little bit of extra fat. We don't care. We're not looking for all this. They don't have to have the fake ass and the fake titties and fake lips and all that. Like, these girls, a lot of them be pretty as hell. And a lot of them already look nice and they go over there and pay all this money to get fucked up. And it's sad because mainstream societies made them this way. And then they do that and then they start carrying masculine energy right with them. Nah, fool, yeah, motherfucker, like just got the energy of another homie. Like, why would you want that in a female next to you? Unless you're attracted to men. Probably, right? Think about it. I'm just saying. But me personally, it's got to be feminine energy. That's what attracts me. If that energy ain't feminine, if she ain't elegant, she don't move like a woman, talk like a woman, feel like a woman, there's no fucking attraction there, and I'm gone. I'm out. Speedy Gonzalez, nothing but smoke going down that motherfucking driveway. The first thing smoking out that motherfucker, I'd never be in that position, period, in the first place. You feel me? But yeah, energy sucks. Then you got men carrying feminine energy. These women that are looking for dudes like us that are old school straight, and we just want a woman that's uh real with herself, solid, and feminine energy, right? Basically, that's all we ask. And there's these women out there getting these dudes that look, I mean, they're like 6'1", 235 pounds, chiseled, yoked the fuck up, everything. Look like a man, but got feminine energy like a motherfucker. And these women are having problems in relationships with these men. These men don't assert themselves. These men they don't put their foot down. They don't have no spine. And in the Western world these days, most women want to do with no motherfucking spine. They want to control the relationship. And a real woman, a true woman that is looking for a certain type of man, when she really knows she found that dude, she's gonna follow him and she's gonna follow his suit and everything he says, she's gonna go do it. She's gonna be so happy to be there with that motherfucker. She's gonna be feeling like she done got her biggest, greatest fucking wish of all time. And they're gonna keep that energy flowing there. But yeah, what wins is strong feminine energy and strong masculine energy. Some people like to go and call it toxic masculinity, but there's no such thing. It only became toxic to weenies. It only became toxic to motherfuckers that never slapped nobody or nobody's ever been in a fist fight. You know what I'm saying? When we were playing football, tackle football after school and on the weekends on the field with no pads, no helmets, nothing, no gear, just what we had on. And we'll jump on that field 4-on-4, 5-on-5, 3-on-3, whoever was there, and we just smack each other around, bro. And there'd be the occasional dude that's standing over there on the sidelines on the other side of the fence or on the blacktop looking at us with two girls. There'd be a guy, a feminine guy. They're looking at us. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. You're either masculine or you ain't. My problem is I'm too masculine sometimes because I require a woman to be feminine, to have some class about herself and some self-confidence. You know what I'm saying? And just be a solid person, a good woman. It's simple. I'm not speaking like personally, I'm just saying in general. I'm not a single man. So yeah, I wasn't talking about me personally. Let's just clear that up. I had to get that out of the way. But yeah, I mean, in generally speaking, that's what most straight, strong, responsible men want is strong feminine energy and a woman who basks in that energy and just accepts it and owns it and gonna be the best woman that she can, not trying to be a woman thinking like a man. And to clear something up, that ain't thinking like a man. That's thinking like a fuck boy. That's thinking like a bitch. So if you're gonna follow a bitch and think like a bitch and think that you are thinking like a man, sadly mistaken. You don't understand how a man thinks, obviously, if you go with that energy. That ain't good for you. That ain't a good look. That ain't good for nobody. So yeah, women need to bring back strong feminine energy, elegance, radiance, all that type of stuff. They need to bring that back. Why don't they celebrate that anymore? Strong women. Strong women, not, you know what I'm saying? Actual women. There's nothing wrong with everything else, but this is what I'm talking about. And I'm not bashing anybody. That's not what we're doing. I'm just saying why everything's a little bit crossed up in the dating world these days. When it comes to talking to people, meeting the people, and stuff like that, everything's just it's just it's weird. People are weird, right? I've heard some stories when I was doing Uber and Lyft. I was driving many people to a date or picking them up from dates. I mean, man, I picked up this one lady. I turned my app on, and within like a minute, this ride came in, and it was going from Surprise, Arizona, all the way to Maricopa, and it was paying like $65. And I'm like, man, that's more than $1 a mile. But I was like, and I already accepted the ride, and then I'm going through to try to cancel it because it's about 4 miles from where I'm at. And a message comes in on the app and it says, please don't cancel. I really need the ride. I will tip you well. Just please get here. Thank you. I remember it almost verbatim. And I'm like, damn, okay, fuck it. So I roll up there and it's a trailer park and I pull up and it's just It's this older woman. I say older, I mean like my age. She's about early 40s, 42, 43, something like that. I just remember pulling up and she's standing outside, and it's kind of like 11 o'clock at night. It's like a Friday night. Yeah, it's a Friday night. And I pull up, I see her inside the mobile home court, and I come through, pull up, I see her, I pull up, she opens the door, she gets in, and she's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. Please, let's go, let's get out of here." And I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" She was just like startled. And she's like, "No, no, no, just get out of here. The further you get out away from this place right here, this man's house, the more comfortable I'll feel. I'm never coming back here again." And I was like, "Whoa." I was like, "What the hell? What's going on?" I forgot her name. Her name was like, it was like a classic name like Anita or Juanita or something like that. She's a Native American chick. Really nice, respectful. I chopped it up with her the whole way from Surprise all the way to Maricopa, which was like almost an hour drive. It was like 54 minutes or something like that, 53 minutes, 55 minutes. So basically like an hour. But when she started telling me when I was leaving that mobile home court, hurry up, please, and thank you for not canceling. Thank you for not canceling. And I was like, yeah, no problem. She's like, you don't know what just happened to me right now. I said I was gonna tip you well. I'm gonna tip you right now. I said, okay. And she was opening up her purse. I'm driving and shit. And she goes, here you go. She taps me on the shoulder, and I just reach over like this and grab it. It's a $50 bill. And I was like, wow. She's like, I know Maricopa is out in the middle of nowhere, and I understand Uber and Lyft. And when you're out there, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and you got to kind of find your way back. And there may not be any rides back. So I'm tipping you well. Thank you for accepting the ride. I needed to get out of there. She's like, I just had a really, really bad experience. And I said, what happened? Are you okay? She's like, I am now. And I was like, well, what happened? She goes, well, I've been talking to this guy on Instagram, right? And this lady she was an attractive woman. She was an attractive woman. She was dressed up really nice, like old school, like wholesome. She had jeans on, like a sweater, old school knitted sweater, some little Vans or whatever. Her hair was done and stuff. Wore glasses, little chubby, but not overly like big or nothing like that. She was an attractive woman. And so she told me she met some guy on Instagram. They had been messaging for 2 months. And because she lives in Maricopa and the dude lived right there where I picked her up from in Surprise, right there in that little mobile home court, they have a ton of them out there. Um, that they had to plan a weekend out where they could meet in person. And so this happened to be that weekend. She goes, today was the day we're supposed to meet. I was going to go to spend the weekend at his house. She's like, so I took an Uber here, and I was only there about 45 minutes. I said, whoa, what happened? Well, I had just got there like about an hour or so before I called you. She's like, before I called in to get another ride, I had only been there 45 minutes. So I was there like about a little bit more than an hour total. And I was like, wow, what happened? She goes, well, when I took the Uber there, he comes outside, he gives her a hug, and she's like, oh, nice to meet you, whatever, whatever, whatever. She goes, he kind of catfished me, but not all the way. He looked a little bit thinner in his pictures, but it was cool. She's like, it was him. I wasn't like worried or anything. So the plan was we were gonna go in, we were gonna hang out. He had his own house, mobile home. That we're gonna hang out, we're gonna watch movies, and we're gonna drink a little bit. I drink maybe just a little bit of liquor here and there. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. She's like, so that was the plan. She goes, so we go inside, everything seems cool. He introduced me to his dogs, everything's cool. We sit down at a table. She goes, he's got the remote in his hand, and he's got a big TV right there that you can't miss. She's like, it's on the wall that they're facing. I guess when she sits down, she can see it right there. And she said he just goes and pushes play, and it goes right into a porno. And she said the part that it is it's a girl bending over and the dude's, and it's loud and you can hear all the sounds and everything. And it's like nothing to him. She's like, he goes to the refrigerator, he leaves it on. You can hear the girl in the background, all this shit. It's all loud. I'm trying not to look at it. I'm feeling awkward. Like, what the hell? And I'm like, he never talked to you like that or anything? She's like, here and there, but nothing overly like perverted. I didn't know anything about this. She's like, and it kind of caught me off guard. And I just was like, he went to go get a couple of beers and he came back. And I was just like, can you change that? I'm not really comfortable with that. And he was like, oh yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem. And she said he just lowered it down, left it plain, lowered it down, and asked me, so you want to take a shot or what? Come on here, take a drink, take a drink. And she's like, I just felt like hella weird, like, whoa, like I don't know what the hell this is that I just really, really been talked into over the last couple of months. Um, she goes, something just rubbed me the wrong way. And I said, nah, I'm okay. You got some water instead? She goes, when I said that to him, he pounded his hand on the table and he looked at me and he said, you're not gonna have nothing to drink. And he's like a older white country male with the way that she said he had a little accent. He was an older white guy, like country dude. I seen him, he had like big like coveralls on, overalls. He had overalls on and stuff like that. Looked like a farmer, but he's living in a mobile park. And she tells me he just lowers it down, and that now she feels really awkward because he's sitting next to her on the sofa and he's got the bottle and he wants her. He took a shot and he poured one and he's like, "Here, take it." And he's pressing her and pressing her after she said she didn't want none, and he didn't give her the water either that she asked for. So she said at that point she just felt creeped out. She's like, I just feel like this ain't even the guy I've been talking to on Instagram. Like, this is so weird to me. She's like, and I had to leave. She's like, I had to go. I had to go. So she says she called Lyft and Uber, and 5 rides total before it got to me canceled on her because they seen where it was at. A lot of them won't give it a second thought. They're like, damn, we got to go 5, 6 miles out of the way that way. There's nothing that way. And then it's a long ride that way, and it's only paying, $63 or whatever. Ain't gonna do it. So she's like, after about the fourth time it happened, I said, okay, I'm gonna start trying to message them right away and let them know I'm gonna tip them well if they take me because I really need to get out of here. She's like, I'm on my phone and I'm calling. She's like, I'm on the app and I'm setting the ride up for someone to pick me up. And he's asking me, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm getting a ride so I can go home. And he was like, you're leaving? You just got here. Why are you leaving for? She's like, it feels awkward to me and I don't want to be here. I feel kind of creeped out. And he was like, by who? By me? So this fool's like flipping out. And these rides are just canceled. These drivers are canceling on her. And she's freaking out. So when it got to me and I was going to cancel on her too, but I didn't when she messaged through and I looked at the message and she said she was going to tip me well not to cancel because she needed the ride. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that this was going on. A lot of people say they need rides and they really don't. They just don't want you to cancel on them or they don't want you not to even show up. Um, she really needed a ride, right? So I was like, wow. So she's telling me all this and then she's crying when she's telling me this. We're on the freeway. And I was like, hey, don't worry about it now. You're safe. You're cool. I'm taking you home. You're going to be home. So I just want to get home to my dogs and my cats. And I live alone. The whole thing, I live alone. And he knew. And she's from like Wisconsin or Wyoming or something like that. I don't know anyone out here and all that whole stuff. And he, uh, he took advantage of it. But he scared her. So she said that she just felt so creeped out about the porno thing and how he was just wanting to get her drunk. And she's like, there was no feelings there. There was no talking to me. There was nothing. She's like, he's so stupid. All he had to do, she's like, we've been talking for 2 months. And this is what she said as a woman. She goes, and I'm a good woman. I don't just bounce from men to men. I don't have kids yet. And I'm waiting for the right man. I don't bounce from man to man. I need to find a good one though. And I was trying to tell her, hey, there's still some good dudes out there. Don't get discouraged. She said all this motherfucker had to do, because all the talking he did already for the last 2 months on Instagram, just all he had to do if he wanted to get me in bed was just get in there. The TV didn't have to be on, and we could have just talked for a little bit. I would ask him to put some music on. Put some music on. We have 2, 3 shots, and we're in your bed. She's like, because I already want to be with you. I want to hang with you. I like your energy and stuff like that. Is what she was saying, and I'm like, I get it. I can understand that. She's like, but he didn't do any of that. He was just straight out some creep shit. Well, I was like, that's fucking I couldn't imagine that a dude would do some shit like that. Fucking crazy. You invite a girl over that you've been talking to for 2 months on Instagram for the first time to your house. You're there by yourself with her. And when she walks in, you got porno fucking playing on your motherfucking TV. And she ain't been anywhere down with any of that. You ain't mentioned it to her. It's kind of out of left field. And you're just kind of adamant about having the porno on. You don't take it off the screen, you lower it down, then you're trying to get her drunk with shots. I was like, wow. She's like, yeah. So he sounded like a creep. So now she's going home. So she's telling me this whole life story as I drove her all the way home. Once I got her all the way home, she was very gracious. She was happy. She was crying. She tipped me another 25 bucks on the app. Very grateful, very gracious. And I was glad that I was able to help get her home. Believe it or not, doing Uber and Lyft, I ran into a lot of crazy people in a lot of different situations, a lot of crazy stuff. Um, Maybe I might start doing some episodes on that because there's some stuff. And matter of fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, man. I kind of went on here. Thank you guys for listening this episode. We're just freestyling. I'm just talking. I don't even remember anything I just fucking said. None of it was written down, rehearsed. We're just going. We're talking about energy, masculine energy and feminine energy. The greatest couples embrace that. The greatest couples embrace that the man's supposed to be the man and the woman's supposed to be the woman. We can't be a woman. She can't be a man. That's why we go together. That energy, that masculine, that feminine energy, when each one has accepted their role in the energetic field, check it out. That's how it is. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Whoever's watching, whoever didn't get a chance to watch it, come check it out. If you got a comment or anything you like to say, put it down there. You know what's up. It's been raw and uncut, and we've been freestyling and just letting it go. Peep it out. Tell me what you think. If you like it, if you don't, oh yeah, subscribe if you can. If you see this and you ain't subscribed, subscribe. I got some really, 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 really interesting shit coming. Real interesting shit coming. I think people are gonna like it. So until next time, hey, you know what it is. You know where we're going. And you know what time it is. Peace.